So we're on our third part of the series Richard Dawkins' Christmas Evangelist, and we're just thinking about science and the nature of science. Richard Dawkins on the programme at Al Jazeera debating, I think it might have been Oxford or somewhere like that, debating with Muslims. He was asked the question about, is science the only way of knowing something? And can science answer the big questions? And he said, no, science can't answer the big questions. And one of the questions is, how do you know that your wife loves you? Can you have evidence to know that your wife loves you or your husband loves you? Can science tell you that, or do you need science to tell you that? And he admitted generally about science can't answer the big questions, but he said, well, actually someone loving you, there would be evidence for that. But that's not the same as scientific evidence. So he admits on the grand scale that science can't answer the big questions. And to me, he just seemed really ignorant about philosophy and theology, and how philosophy and theology answer some of the big questions about being and about purpose and ethics, etc. And I just feel that really, that the scientific question of does my wife or husband love me is not a scientific question. In other words, there are things in life that go beyond science. How can you scientifically quantify whether someone loves you or not? And I think there is this drum beating all the time by Dawkins and these militant atheists of science, science, science. But it's just making science into some kind of god, and it's kind of like a real fear factor about anything outside that parameter must not be considered. And to me it seems extremely restrictive and fearful and closed and restrictive, and doesn't answer some of the big questions of life. And therefore theology and philosophy have a significant role to play, a central role to play, in answering some of those big questions about love, about the meaning and purpose of life. And Jesus dying on a cross, giving his life for us, is a great example of us living a life of love and what love can be in a life. And I think that's significant for us to discuss and has massive implications for society. But unfortunately, science doesn't have any answers to these big questions about love, about relationships, and about purpose and meaning. What do you think? Let me know. Take care now.